I can't hear anything. I can't see if you're muted or is it plugged into the right? It wasn't plugged into the computer, was it? No, I heard something before. Is it plugged into the computer? What's that? I can't hear anything. Check your headphones. Try it without the headphones. I can't hear. Can't hear anything. Try it. Can't hear anything. Try it without the headphones. Yeah, through your telephone, but not through the Hangouts. So, is your headphones plugged into the computer? Yeah, now I hear you. Yeah, through your telephone, but not through the Hangouts. Okay, I'll hang up the phone. So, is your headphones plugged into the computer? Yeah, now I hear you. Okay, so it's just really lagged. Yeah, through your telephone, but not through the Hangouts. What the heck? Okay, I'll hang up the phone. So, is your headphones plugged into the computer? Yeah, now I hear you. Okay, so it's just really lagged. Yeah, through your telephone, but not through the Hangouts. What the heck? Okay, I'll hang up the phone. So, is your headphones plugged into the computer? Yeah, now I hear you. Hello? Hello? So I can't hear you anymore. I see your screen. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Something on your computer's not picking up any audio. Do you see when I speak, I see three little kind of level buttons go up that they get higher as I talk and they get lower as I don't. Do you see those on your side on your screen? And do they go up when you talk? Okay. So you see how it's catching my voice, right? It's gonna, yeah. So if you have to go to your settings and look for input audio or something like. Right. So that's why I don't think it's the headphones. I think it's your computer is not catching the audio, so you have to tell it what source to look for audio from. And so if you click on the bottom left, we could troubleshoot. Yeah. Go to hit the mic, hit the microphone. Well, yeah, whatever that is. Try now. There it goes.
You can hear me now?
Yep. I'm gonna hang up the
Oh,
phone.
all right.
Okay, I can hear you still.
So now I'm going to screen share.
You're already screen sharing.
I know, but I need to get to the Prezi then.
Yeah. I think we're already live.
I know we are. So I'm hoping whoever's with us is. I wish I could find out. Can you see who's with us?
I uh I used to be able to. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I'm going to. All right. So there should be a way. If you go, you can't. Okay. You can't go to the. You can't see it without this. Okay.
I
Anyway,
think the
I'm
person who
not
starts
sure.
thinking of Hangout is able to. So you
Okay.
are able to.
I'm going to get started, and I want to thank everyone for their. Sometimes we don't have control, but I am ready, and I'm excited to share with what I'm going to share today. So I want to also tell you what's going to happen this evening. I have my co-host here, Armand, and he's going to hopefully be looking at the chats. Anyone that has questions, be able to tell me what the questions are, interpret that with me as well. Most of you know about an empowered woman, but I'm going to give you a little briefing. We're a women's organization. We celebrated our 10 years in January, and we support women that are starting, fixing, and building their businesses. And we do it through our radio shows, our TV shows, mastermind meetings, seminars, webinars, and all different types of awesome live events. And tonight, I'm going to share with you one of our programs, which is our signature program called the Power of Seven. We also have a special event that we're having, a live Power 7, which we've never done that before, that I'll share with you afterwards as well. But telling you a little bit about me, I think I was born to be an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since I was the age of 12 with different businesses. Some of the businesses, when I first started off, was a little dance class that I did in our local playground. I've done modeling schools and agencies. I've had real estate business, just different businesses. And a lot of them, though, are around recently, especially in the last adult life, empowering women with different organizations, events, and things of that type. What I have learned during the process of being in business, which I think is really important because, over the years, you learn from experiences. I'm a firm believer in that. And some of the things I've seen consistently work with the different businesses. Now, the tools have changed. We have periscopes, we have podcasts, we have things that we didn't have even 5 years ago, much less, 50 years ago. But the concepts are the same. And that's what I'm going to share with you this evening about how to utilize different concepts to build your business. So the 7 concepts that we work with is networking, because they always say that your network, it'll be a reflection of your net worth. So I'll talk about that, about speaking, being able to share your message, your products, your programs and services to audiences worldwide, and many times getting paid for it, as well as live events, how to be able to create income from live events. Affiliates, you don't have to do it all alone. You'll be able to incorporate other programs and products and services and get compensated for that. Joint ventures, do it with other people. And sponsors, have them support your dreams, have them support your events. The different ways you can do it, like through telecalls. So you don't have to no longer be in the same room or the same space. You can talk to people from all over the world. Webinars, which we've known, and Google Hangouts, which we are experiencing this evening. In addition to being able to use now web TV, most popularly known as YouTube, and radio shows. And now we have podcasts that are extremely popular, and I'll share more about that later. Becoming a published author. Before you had to go traditionally write a book and have it published or get a publisher. Now there's so many different mediums. You can submit articles to different blogs, posts, or different online magazines, or just all the different ways that you can be able to do that. And then how to create products, programs, and services from your expertise. You don't need to go out and learn anything more. All of you are totally talented and skilled to be able to take what you have and start with that. And then being able to share it with your social media. So we call it our Get It Done program. So when I talk about networking, being able to work the room, and be focused, because the fortune is in the follow-up. And what I mean by that is that when you go in a room, know who you want to talk to, know whether you're talking to a potential sponsor or a potential affiliate or a potential client, and then be able to have questions. We'll teach you questions that you ask that enables you to find out who they are and how you can be able to work with them really quickly, as opposed to being able to spend hours with somebody to find out they're not even a match in any kind of way. So we show you how to ask, tell, and then ask for the opportunity. But as we all know, the fortune is in the follow-up, because many times you're not going to pull out a credit card swiper at an event, unless, of course, it's yours. So you want to be able to follow up, but have organization tools like it's Trello or things of that type, where you can just keep track of everybody and be able to utilize and keep track of the emails and the correspondence and just follow up. And then how to find speaking opportunities and where to find speaking opportunities. Whether you go to meetups, whether you go into Chamber of Commerce, whether you go into other groups, whether you're doing telecalls, telesummits rather, other people's telesummits, things like that really helps a lot. And then how to be able to promote these events and generate cash in the flash. It's like, for example, just the live events. There's a couple ways that you can generate income from. And a couple of them would be ticket sales. Ticket sales, you can sell tickets. You can bring joint ventures in. This doesn't look right. There we go. Let me see. You can do ticket sales. You can do joint ventures. Something's wrong with this one. You can do marketing tables, create income from there. You can also have sponsors sponsor your events. And so I have Dr. Gail Jackson here for you as an example, because she's a doctor. Most doctors don't have live events. And last year, or about a year and a half, we started doing live events every month at the Lux Hotel on Sunset. And at those live events, she invited guests to speak in addition to what she was speaking about. And that in turn brought in their clientele, their database, and encouraged and stimulated sales for her. So she utilized affiliates on that. She also used sponsors. She got different products and different companies that wanted that same target market that she had, which are women. Then they sponsored the events, so she got income from that. She also created packages from herself, the packages where people can enroll in her services, and she created income from that. She also was able to joint venture. So just, she combined in different ways and different streams of income just from those events that she did every month. Now she's doing them every month at her office. She got expanded and got a brand new office, so she's doing it there at the office. So just different ways of being able to show you how you can collaborate and do different things. The same thing with Dr. Starler. And again, I'm using the doctors because it's really not traditional for doctors to use these avenues to promote their business. But it was very effective. She had events in her office. She invited joint venture partners. She invited sponsors. She sold packages, and also gave her an opportunity to speak in front of the room. It's always better to be in front of this room speaking as opposed to the room looking for opportunities to speak. So it's different positioning, and it's much more powerful. So going and talking about affiliates and joint ventures and sponsors. That's one of the fastest ways to be able to multiply your audience. So say, for example, a joint venture. Maybe you have 5,000 people on your mailing list, and you joint venture with somebody else with 5,000 people on their mailing list, and you create an event. And they have to opt in to your contact management system. So you have either Infusionsoft or Aweber or MailChimp, whatever it is, they opt in. So now you're growing your list. And then also you will be able to share that list with your other joint venture partner, but you've immediately doubled your list and your accessibility. Then you have a event. Many times you can share events, the cost of the events or the cost of the foods, cost of the promotion of the advertising on the landing page. So you have someone to share with, but you also can immediately increase your credibility and visibility. Because, say, for example, they've been in the business for 20 years and you've only been in business for 5 or for 10. Combined, you'd have 30 years of experience. Well, when you're promoting your products and programs, it's good to be able to say that we have a combined experience of over 30 years. And then you're able to do it. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more economical, and it's a lot more robust in the sense of what you're going to take away is going to be from it, because you'll be able to do that. So you increase your profits, you've leveraged your database, your expertise, and your resources. So that's with the joint ventures. Affiliates, I mean, the same way, affiliates you can actually on your website, on your newsletters. You can have them involved in many different ways where if someone purchases their program and services, then they will be able to you'll be able to compensate it for it. You'll either get a flat fee or you'll be able to get a percentage of it. And then sponsors. Sponsors are, for many people think of sponsors like Bank of America and the car companies and the big companies. And yes, they're there. And yes, they're giving thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to different businesses because they want to be, again, in front of your market. But there's a lot of sponsors you can start with that just to help you get started. For example, your local attorney or travel agent or financial advisor, accountant. We've had sponsors that have a lot of the cosmetic care, like the LASIK surgery for the eyes, or maybe cosmetic surgery. It could be even someone that does hair. One lady, she does a lot of extensions, and so she charges about $300 per person. So for her to pay, even $1,000 to sponsor your events or sponsor something that you're doing, all she needs is like three clients to be able to get her ROI. And it depends on the size of your event and the size of your reach. She could duplicate that, many times fold. So it doesn't have to be. You can always start with someone just to support you, someone that you've been supporting, someone that you've written a check to, someone, again, your insurance agent that you've had for years, or your doctor or attorney, someone that you've used for years. It's an opportunity for them to be able to support you in what you're doing. So now I'm going to just play a sample. This is a testimonial from a young lady who did use a sponsorship program. And you can use it in many different ways, but this will share how she used it. Now, hopefully this opens up correctly. Let's see. Uh-oh, I guess it's we're not rendering. So I'll close that out. So what she did is that she is an interior decorator. So as she was mentioning that she partnered with a cooking school. She's already gotten and she got towards the beginning, and she got so a lot of different other people to be able to partner with. Says if anyone has any question, if anyone's, I hope you can be able to chat in, write your questions in the chat box, because I would love to be able to answer your questions. I would love for this to be even more interactive than it is, but I'm going to back up a little bit. So we talked about the affiliates, joint ventures, and the sponsors. And we talked about how she used it, and everybody uses it a different way. So now we're going to talk about telecalls, webinars, and Google Hangouts. So you can utilize your phone and computer from the comfort of your home or office to build a platform as an expert and create worldwide audience, products, and multiple streams of income. So, say for example, we've had some ladies that are coaches, and they were really successful in being able to do coaching on a telecall. And they took let's say, for example, you have a book that you work from, or I always go by the 12 most commonly asked questions. So these are the 12 questions that people are commonly asked you. And you can consolidate a couple of them maybe to an 8-week program. And you will teach them that information. You can utilize your book as a guideline where you can incorporate in your package where they get a copy of your book. So it's one way of being able to sell your book as well as being able to have additional information. And then you're able to teach them virtually. You can be in your pajamas, you have to leave your home or office to be able to do that. And you can reach more people than you can in a live event, because you can reach people all over the world, especially with the webinars and Google Hangouts. Anyone in the world can log in at that time and be able to take your classes or your programs. So it's very economical because it really costs you basically next to nothing to produce. And that gives you the leeway of being able to charge a less expensive price. So say, for example, if you had a live event and you were charging them $500 for the live event, because you have to take care of the hotel, the lunch or the refreshments and the supplies and anything else that's involved from there. So already you've got, expenses. Whereas if you do a Google Hangout or a webinar or a teleclass, then you don't have that those expenses. And so you can charge much less. You can charge $100 and you now have unlimited occupancy. Now, some of the webinar programs have limits, but basically it's limited occupancy. So you can have, as opposed to being restricted by the people you can have in a room, you can have an unlimited amount of people. And so it's a great way to start. It's a great way to become familiar with your content. So some people start there so they can get used to presenting their content. It's a great way to get feedback, because even if you just have 5 people on the call or on the program, it still could be worth your while, and it's a good opportunity for you to rehearse it, to record it, and to be able to utilize it thereafter. So those are great ways of revenue streams. I'm going to show you at the end just some ideas as well as how you can monetize this and how the numbers pan out. So podcasts, we were doing, it's the same thing as audio recording. So Blog Talk Radio, free conference call allows you to do it, or you can do it on Skype, audio on Skype. So whatever way you decide to do it, it's a way of being able to take, again, your information, and you can either take it and share, you can take it and do interviews. There's all kinds of podcasts. And same thing, especially if you use Blog Talk Radio or free conference call, it's totally free. And what it is a great way to be able to get people engaged. Like now we are doing 2 of them. We're doing one with our Power 7 graduates because they want the visibility. It gives them additional credibility because they're being interviewed. And we want the additional visibility because the more we share with our community, then the more people will say they want to become a part of us because they know that we're going to promote them as much as we can. And it's a great way for us to introduce our members to our community and say, hey, this is so-and-so, and this is what she does, and she does a wonderful job at it. But for them to hear it in a conversation, so it's not a commercial. And it can be short, like 15, 20 minutes, or some of them are longer. It can be done weekly, monthly, daily. It just depends on how involved you want to get into it. But some people like that because it doesn't require any, again, hair or makeup. It doesn't require anything but a microphone or a reliable computer. And you're able to get people involved. You can do something on a consistent basis. Some people have a co-host or a couple of people that work with them. They talk about different topics. It can be anything you want. What it is that people now want to select what they're listening to. No longer do they want to go to the radio. If they're interested in business, if they're interested in fly fishing, if they're interested in sports or stocks or whatever it is, they want to be able to go and hear more of that. And now it's so popular, not only with the people that are using their headphones. It's on iTunes. It's distributed through iTunes or Stitcher. So you can be walking your dog. You can be getting dressed in the morning. You can be working out at the gym. Instead of just listening to music, you can listen to something that you really enjoy and want to learn more about. But also, now they have Stitchers in the cars. Starting in 2016, they start implementing Stitcher, which is a program that you can access it in the cars so that you can listen to it in the car. So this is one person. I use him as example because he started podcasting. He just sunk his teeth into it, and his name is John Lee Dumas. I was a guest on his show back in, I think it was last November. So this is the show, and you're more than welcome to go to Entrepreneur on Fire and listen to the podcast. And then what he does is he also shares his income. Now, this was from May 2015, so I haven't even updated this for the new ones. But 2015, he made almost $2 million, 1.759 on just having his podcast. Now, what he did is that he breaks down every month where the revenue is coming from. So first it was he was just doing the podcast because he wanted to listen to podcasts, but he wanted to listen to it every day. So his is distributed every day, and he records them once a week, and he records 8 shows, 7 for each day of the week, and an extra one for backup. And it's all about entrepreneurs. It's all interviewing entrepreneurs. So it's nothing, anything more complicated than that. Someone could do it on all moms, someone can do it on teens, someone can do it on all athletes, whatever you want to be able to work from. But he gets money now from sponsors because he has such a great following. He has millions of followers. He gets monies from his affiliates. He has affiliates that we talked about earlier where you can promote different programs and products, and he gets paid for that. So he has his sponsors, he has affiliates. He also creates some products himself. He teaches people how to do their own podcast. So he charges for that. Then he created a membership program for those who know how to do a podcast but want to stay in the conversation. And he gets income from that. So he has quite a few different streams of income from his podcast, like this podcast course, his webinar course. He also asks every entrepreneur what some of their favorite habits are or their favorite books and things of that type. And he has these 10, 11 habits as a opt-in. So if you opt in, you'll see habits that he's collected from all the different entrepreneurs that he's worked. So there's all kinds of podcasts. Again, it's just really fun and easy. And we're going to do more of them. We're also launching on May 4th, I think it's May 4th, our podcast for our 7-figure members called Let's Talk Success. So we have it once a week. So we're interviewing 35 women. We're starting recording them I do it Wednesdays and Thursdays for the next couple of weeks. And I'll interview all the ladies, and then we're going to edit them up with some music. So we didn't put any music or anything fancy in ours before, but we're going to put some music thing on it, and we're going to distribute them. We're going to distribute it. They're going to distribute it. So with that kind of distribution, we'll get a lot of traction from it and bring people into our database and into our community. And the radio shows, again, some people still like the radio shows. I like the radio shows. And with Blog Talk Radio, they are podcasts. You can just have it directed towards iTunes, and there it is. This just shows this was last season, but at that point we had over 90,000 listens, and we never really did a lot of promoting of our Blog Talk Radio show. The ladies promoted it, but very few times when we first started, we did, but otherwise we haven't been promoting it. So just for something that's pretty passive, that people just kind of find their way there by keywords, then that's a pretty good. And again, now that we're going to start doing more audio this year, we're going to promote it even more. So the TV shows, videos, very, very popular. Video is the #1 optimization tool on the internet. And now that Google owns YouTube, anything you put on YouTube is awesome. So we did our shows a couple different ways. We did one where we just do interview style. We had second Sundays, we had lunches, and so the ladies would come to the lunch, and then we would invite. This particular series we had 4 7-figure women talking Let's Talk Success. So we just had a live stream crew there that recorded it, so it was going live stream. People could see it all live. And how we were able to part finances, that we had the ladies pay the tickets to come to the event. I think it was $100. They loved it because they were in the presence of some awesome women, and they had a beautiful lunch. It's the SLS Hotel, which is an incredibly beautiful hotel. And then we are able to get sponsors, and then we were able to, now we're creating it as a program, and being able to be able to utilize it over and over again and get visibility. So you can always do it as a talk show format. This is another way that we did it when we did it with our members as a member benefit. So we used to say that as a member, then you'd have a chance to be a show. And we would do like 8 shows in a day, 4 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. And it was great for the ladies. It was called Take Five. It was 5 minutes. I did a minute for opening. Each person had a minute to speak and a minute for closing. So they were able to get their presence out there. We talked about different topics, different hot topics, whatever is prevalent, and they opted for that. So it's great visibility. It's a great tool for them to put on their websites. It's a great tool for them to be able to share, and it's a great opportunity. So now with all the different things now that are available, like Periscope, like I went this morning to a young lady and they were videotaping. She used her iPhone to record her whole show. She does a lot of how-to shows. So she used her iPhone and recorded her whole segment, whole hour segment on her iPhone, and she's going to take it and edit it. And she has she says she does about 8 shows on a Monday. She goes and tapes 8 shows, different places, and uploads them. And then she's going to start promoting them. So now with our iPhones, our iPads, we have so many different tools to be able to do with the videos. So another thing that we learn in the Power of Seven, because we think about people engage, people are going to enroll in your programs a couple of different ways. Some people, according to NLP, will enroll if they read it and they will print it and highlight it and communicate it and then just kind of grasp it that way. Other people will listen to your audio. They'll listen to it over and over again where you literally sound like that person is in your head. And then other people will do the videos because they want to see your body language. They want to see how you dress. They want to be able to resonate with you that way. And that's also been very, very effective. The videos, as we mentioned, for optimization as well. And then some people will enroll with you when they come to a live event. They want to know, like, and touch you. So the first way to start, I say, is by becoming a published author. So you can write articles for blogs and magazines and newspapers and create ebooks and things of that type. And you use that written word as your script for your audio and your video and your live event. So that way you're repurposing it. So you can do again so many different formats that you can use, but there's ways that you can just write an article, submit it, and in a matter of minutes be a published author. And it's a good credential. And then you can plan and say, okay, I'm going to do these articles one by one, but I'm doing them with a purpose and a sequence in mind. So at the end of this 10 or 12 or 15 articles I'm writing, I will have a book, an ebook. So it's a way of being able to do it, and you'll be able to see who people respond to the different chapters, so that when you're ready to put together the book, you've got the content right then and there. So this is another, I'm afraid to use this video. All these videos are on our Power of Seven page. So Anne shares about how she wrote an article, and then in minutes, somebody from Spain, I think, for example, contacted her and actually hired her services. So again, I mentioned, she says how fast it happens, and from people just out of random, just by not promoting it, just by someone seeing the article with the keywords in it and actually becoming a client. The same thing that you can do, we're talking about as far as your audio and your video, your written, you can create products out of that. You can take your audio, say, for example, you did a series of blog talk radio shows or telecalls or podcasts. You can create the best of 10, if you do it, again, with attention in mind. And I like to do the 12 most commonly asked questions because I give you one a month for 12 months. So you don't have to, doesn't have to be brain surgery. And then you can create a best of, or 12 months of how to do this, or the whole series that you can do on CDs, or you can do a series of videos that you can do on a DVD that has information. So you just take what you're doing and you can complete that with your written notes. So you start with the article. So you can have the article be included into whatever package you're selling, or you can manufacture something, you can create something. And one of the things that we created was our digital magazine, because we were trying to think of a way that we can put our video and our audio and our written words, as well as any type of call to action and things of that type, that we can be able to do that, but to be able to distribute it in a fun way to the whole wide world. So we created the magazines called Let's Talk Success. We only did 4 this last year, and we're going to do about 10 this year. And we feature a seven-figure woman. And when you open it up, this one is not live. You can go into our website and look under Let's Talk Success and go in and listen to the videos and then listen to their podcasts. I mean, all of it has such wealth of information. And these are women that have had success and they have great stories. And you'll see the written word and you'll see how that can be easily distributed. Now, how we utilizing sponsors. Now we can get sponsors to pay to be in the magazine, so that will supplement the cost or use it as an income stream. We have affiliates in the magazine, so we can get that additional income. We also can have a class that will talk about the power of seven, so we can sell things if we wanted to. It's a great lead generation. And what's really important is that we created a board of influence around it, and then we have people that are sharing it for us. And they get listed in the magazine as well as the website. So this gives you things to share with your social media. This gives you again, your articles, your audio, your video, your announcements, whether it's memberships or digital magazines. It gives you things to share with your social media, so you um, can keep it interesting and you can keep it fresh, and you don't have to wonder about what I'm going to share. Am I going to share what I ate for dinner last night? You're actually really being able to share something that has some continuity to it and that will bring clients to you, because that's the biggest thing with social media, is that they're out there, but it's the key is bring them into your database. And some of the things that we did, we've given different events where we just invited our social media people. And like I used to do it on April Fool's Day. We'd have a mixer at a hotel or a restaurant. They gave it to us for free because it just brought in traffic from different places, more traffic to their business, and people brought drinks. So we did it from early before they opened, like from 6 to 9. So everybody came in, they networked from 6 to 7. Then we had a really fun networking event where we did a rapid networking so everyone got a chance to meet everybody. And then we had more in networking and enrollments there. We were able to promote our memberships. We were able to promote different programs. So people came for free. But more importantly is that everyone had to opt in, and they opted into our database, which means we use Infusionsoft. So we were able to grow our list organically by just doing that. Another thing we did, only marketing to our social media to get them to opt in, was we call Wicked Wednesdays. And on Wednesdays, our members had the opportunity to donate a product or service. It had to be a minimum of $100 value. And we promoted it on Wednesdays from 6 in the morning until 6 at night. And they could opt in to win. And we selected the winners by, if it was March the 3rd, it was the third person that opted in. If it was March the 30th, then it was the 30th person. And they would win that person's products, programs, or services. But what's good about it is that they got the list. They also got the list of everyone that opted in that day. We announced the winners, but they were also able to send an email to all the people that opted in, because they were obviously interested in that, and invite them to either a discount or a dinner for two or 50% off. So whatever it is, they were able now to grow their list, and we were able to grow our list, and they were able to get clients more visibility about their products. So I'm just giving you those as a couple of different examples of ways that you can work your social media to bring them into your database, even without doing ads or anything expensive. Just kind of create something, a reason for them to opt in. But it could be again your blog. It could be your article, your new article. It could be your new podcast. It could be an opportunity for them to be interviewed on your podcast. It depends on what you're talking about, and they have to opt in to give you their information. So whatever it is, those are some of the ways that we've effectively used the social media. So this is another young lady. I'm tempted to give it a try, to see how it plays. I'll give it a try and see. She talks about how her list grew. Let's see what happens. I think that she, at the end of the day, she had already got a lot of different people on her social media that was complimenting her on her articles and her radio show and things like that. So now let's do some of the numbers, because I know sometimes, many times, it's easier said than done. And let's see how easy this could be. If you want to make an additional $100,000 and divide it by 12 months, and you need to make 8,333 a month. If you divide that by 4 weeks, you need to make $2,083 a week. You divide that by 5 days, you need to make $416 a day. If you divide that by 8 hours, you need to make $52 an hour. Now, a lot of the professionals that I know are charging more than $52 an hour. And they can probably, in 2 hours or 4 hours, they can make their whole 8 hour day to $414 a day, $416 a day. So the numbers and what you're charging is not hard. What's difficult is the consistency. I find across the board, they may get 2 or 3 clients, and if they lose a client or they transition a client, and it doesn't matter if you're coaching, whether you're an attorney, whether you're an accountant, financial advisor, well, some of them have a little longer engagement period, but even if it's just selling clothing, you need to keep that traffic coming. You need to keep it coming to be able to maintain those numbers. So these are some of the ways from the 7 tools that we talked about that you can make some of the numbers. Say, for example, you liked live events and you did 2 live events a month, maybe in the Valley or in LA, and another one in Orange County. It could be different areas, it could be different groups. Maybe one is in the morning and one of the live events is in the evening in that month. This could be the exact same information, just done for 2 different times, 2 different days, 2 different locations with the same information. But if you made $4,000 from that, you could do that, and that's all you'd have to do. You could do that, the 4,000, by, again, your ticket sales, or people, sponsors, or marketing tables, or we talked about having joint ventures where they would utilize the presentation and they give you the money, the affiliate fee. So there's a lot of ways you can do that, but that can be done. Or say, for example, you have the magazine, or have something else or a product or program you want someone to sponsor. If you got 4 sponsors at $2,000 a month, it could be a podcast series. Like, we're charging sponsors for our podcast series. So we're saying that we're going to have these 35 podcasts in 1 week, every week throughout the year, and we're charging them X amount of dollars, so that at the end of the podcast, we're going to say this, special thanks to our partners, da 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 da, on that podcast page where it's being archived. It'll have their banner and sponsor information there. On the email that we send out, promoting the different podcasts, they'll have their banner on there. So there's different ways that you can incorporate them. I'll also do a podcast with them, talking about their business and promoting that. So there's different things you can create a package to give them, whereas they can sponsor or support or create additional income for you. And then coaching and seminars. Again, the same thing. If you had a program where you coach someone maybe every week, and you charge them $1,000 a month. Well, if you had 8 people that paid you $1,000 a month, you'd be able to make the $8,000. Or if you had, again, any kind of seminars or webinars and things of that type, you just got 8 people to pay that. It could be something done in a month, it could be done in 2 months, it could be an annual program. It could be something, the mastermind that they have. People pay a lot more than that for masterminds. So maybe, for example, you have a niche. You have people that that you resonate with, and they resonate with you. You have knowledge. You have expertise. You can create something around that. And when they do it, one way, people think, okay, $1,000. All right, $1,000, if it could be broken down, your numbers would differently, maybe X amount of dollars a month, then it changes. It's not $1,000. It could be a couple $100s a month, and so forth. So do your numbers. That's just samples of what can be done. Same thing with the CD, videos, and workshops and workbooks. You have 16 of them times $500, you got $8,000. So if you created some kind of packaging where you have the audio, the video, and the written word, and you charge $500 for it, because if they took it live, it would cost them $1,000, and you only sold 16 a month, then you'd be able to reach your goal. And then a teleclass. So a teleclass I mentioned that you can do, it's 8 weeks, 6 weeks. You can do it morning. You can do two of them a day. At one point, we were doing one at 7 in the morning and one at 7 at night. And so you have 40 people signed up at only $200, which is not a lot of money for anybody to get any kind of transformation or get any kind of movement from where they are to where they want to be. And you do that, and you'd have $8,000. And just to think about it, if you had 1,000 units of anything for $1,000, so a product is 1 million. So if you said I'm gonna have $1,000 product and I'm just going to find 1,000 people, which is can be less than 10 people a month. If you really worked it and did the podcast or did whatever, that's how these people are reaching $1 million. They're just taking something and they're just having the numbers consistently come through. And that only happens when you consistently do the radio or video or podcasts or webinars or something like that. And believe me, ladies, I know when we were doing it consistently, we had consistent income coming. When we stopped, it stopped. So we're going to start doing webinars again every week on something on different topics. I'm going to break it down like topic by topic, but just to give people the opportunity to hear more about what we're doing. And it's also good to be able to share, and this gives us something to share in our social media as well as just being able to share with our community. So the Power of Seven program is again, the signature program. I love it because of the fact that I get to work with everybody. I know their businesses. I know how I can support them. And if they work the program works for them. And so when you leave it, when you complete it, you've got a golden Rolodex. That's what we give you in the very beginning, all a whole page full of different resources and programs. And we constantly update it because they constantly change. We use a great organization and management tool called called Trello, rather, Trello. We like it because of the fact that it's easy to manage and you can keep things there. You can keep all your archives there. You can utilize it with your virtual assistants or your teams. Speaking events, you know how to create a speaking event yourself. Go find speaking events or create events yourself. And events, people think of big hotels and big things. It can be small. We started in our home. We started Empower Women in my home with 7 people the first time, and then it grew so big that we had to move it to a hotel. But you can go into bookstores, you can go to coffee shops. It doesn't have to be a big event. It just has to be an event where you are being able to connect with your tribe. You'll learn you'll set up affiliates. There's certain websites that you go to that set up your affiliates to be able to talk about and set up joint ventures and talk about sponsors and how to create sponsor packages. You'll become a published author because you immediately write some articles and we immediately publish them. And the more you write, the more you publish, the more published author you are. We do your radio show and your TV show. We work on the theme, work on the topics, we work on the format, we work on the time. So you have that, and then it's just a matter of keeping it up. And then we can create programs and products. Take what you have and create packages for you so that you really feel you've got something to go with. And then you have a 12-month income generating blueprint, which means that we will go through for you specifically, if you did this, this, and this, how you'll be able to generate the income. And we do it towards the end of the program because at that time, you know what you like and what you don't like and what you're able to embrace right away and do a lot of. And then we say, okay, if you did that, this is what you'll be able to make. And then we have weekly mastermind calls. They're small groups, but the ones that attend, they always get some kind of takeaway. And it's only an hour on Tuesdays at 10, but I usually 99% of it I host it personally. So I'm always willing to give you all kinds of advice, all kinds of referrals, and the ladies give you support as well. Many of us are solopreneurs. Even if you've got a company where you have 500 employees, you're still alone at the top. So it's great to be able to connect with other people, to be able to, to get feedback from them, to get their ideas, just to listen. Sometimes I'm a member of masterminds and we paid $20,000, $50,000 for it. And sometimes I just have it on listen mode and I'm just multitasking. If I don't really have anything to contribute, but it's never a waste of time. Either it reminds me of something, it stimulates me, or it motivates me, or it just works. There's a reason why people have masterminds and people pay lots of money for them. So it's included with your Power 7 program. Now, what we're doing differently, and I'm going to share with you today, is a way that you can create credibility, visibility, and revenue all in one day. Typically, the Power 7 is done in small groups or in privates. And I've been asked over and over again to do it as a group, like, do a one day a group, a lot of people in the room. I hesitated because I was concerned about what they were actually going to be able to grasp and be able to accomplish. And I really wanted them to be able to, I didn't want it to be just another seminar. So we are going to do it. I've created a great outline and a great form where we are going to be able to do it in one day. And let me say that. That's going to be on April the 1st. It's Friday, April the 1st. We start 8:30 in the morning and we go until 8:30 in the evening. And we will go through all the modules. I'm going to go through each module. I will send you the modules prior to. So they'll have a chance to be able to go in and get your usernames and passwords and things of that type, and be able to be ready that day. You have all your articles and everything ready when you show up. And then every hour, we're going to have a module and we move you through every hour. It won't be as experiential as it is when you do the privates because we're not going to be each individual radio show, but you will learn how to do it and you will know how to do it. And then we have our masterminds. It includes the masterminds. So you'll be able to connect with people to be able to practice them with and be able to take it from there. So you get all the notes from the webinar prior to the usernames and logins and things of that type that you need to be able to log in. You'll have a full day going module by module. We'll also include your lunch. And then at the evening, you'll have an opportunity to do some networking. We'll have some great exercises. So we really won't be teaching all day. We'll actually have a chance to be able to connect with each other. I'm going to try to go, I'm going to change my screen so I can show you those details. And, and the best part about it, and that is we're giving it to you for the price of our membership. Our membership is $470 a year, our platinum membership. So for $470, you'll be able to attend the full day. It includes your lunch, and you'll have the mastermind every Tuesday at 10. And you have the option of paying the full amount, or you have the option of doing it in two pay, where it's a little more, $250 today and $250 March 18th. But it's perfect for some people that have already taken the Power of Seven. A lot of people are saying, you know what, I've taken it. It's going to be great for me to come back in and sit in. Maybe I've changed my business because that's a constant among us. Or maybe I've changed my products a little bit, or maybe just now I'm ready to hear it again and I'm going to be able to grasp something new and go forward with it. Or people hearing it the first time. Because even if you hear it for the very first time, you'll be able to absorb it, practice it, and then you'll be able to refine it as you go through the weekly masterminds. So it still has you still get all the benefits of the membership, but you'll be able to get the Power of Seven as well. I'm doing it still in a small group, so it's not going to be more than 30 people because I don't want it to get to be hundreds of people or a room full of people. I want to still be able to have that intimacy. And some of the people that have taken it before, they are coming back. It'll give them a chance to share what they're doing and what they've done, and we'll give them additional publicity because they always have an opportunity to be in front of the room. And then it'll also give them a chance to, again, review it and to refine it and to be able to move forward from that. Now, this is right on our website. If you go to anempoweredwoman.com/power7, you'll be able to find it. Or if you just go to thepowerwoman.com, you'll be able to go to the Power 7 and it will take you to this page. And so it's the same program what the Power 7 is. When you complete the Power 7, you'll be a published author, web, TV, and radio show host. You'll have products, programs, and services you can promote for free or for a fee. You'll learn how to work any room and generate leads and systemize your follow-up. You'll be able to build a platform and programs as a speaker and generate revenue from live events. You'll be able to create affiliates, alliance partners, sponsors, joint ventures. You'll be able to utilize teleclasses, webinar, Google Hangouts to expand your reach and enrollment. And you'll be able to develop a one-year blueprint to expand your business and generate more income, as well as participate in our weekly mastermind calls and our private Facebook group. So that is our Power of 7. Those are the 7 tools. These are all the testimonials I mentioned that you can go in and listen. Everybody had different experiences because everyone's looking for different things. But it has all the information there. Has the videos there we talked about. Even has a audio that you'll also get when you enroll. And I'm also doing, which I won't be doing for the group session, but I will doing a private, anyone that enrolls, I'll do a private strategy session again with you. When we do the small groups, I did a private strategy session, but I'm not offering it for everyone in the group session in the one day, only the ones that enrolled this evening. Because obviously I can't do it for 30 people. It would be too time intensive. But the ones who enroll this evening are the ones, whether you have the full pay or the two pay, then I would gladly be able to set a strategy session with you so you can really, really, really talk about where you are now and where you want to go, and then make sure you're able to do it. So I would love, love, love to see if anyone has any questions. I would love to respond to any questions or feedback or comments. My co-host Armand, you've been awfully quiet over there. How are you doing?
I'm good.
I just had to make sure you didn't weren't able, if we weren't falling asleep on me.
uh,
So are you able to see the chat box? Are you able to see if
yeah,
anyone?
yeah. I don't think there were any questions on this one, but I think we covered most of the information that's necessary. I think I won the best co-host award though.
I don't know what the prize is. So tell me, you've heard about the Power of Seven from this, and you've had experience with some of you're even working with some people now that took the Power of Seven, how they're doing tele summits. John is doing a tele summit and how it's grown his list. Do you want to just share that just for, while people are putting in their credit card information, you want to share that with us?
Sure. I mean, I think the key is just delivering content, useful content, valuable content to the people that are going to consume it, and the medium will kind of always depend on what's best for your clientele. Also, what type of content you're displaying. If you have like a toy helicopter company or whatever, and you're doing demos on that, obviously you'd probably want to do something with video. Otherwise, if you're telling stories, then you can do audio. So just think about what medium works best for your content, and you make sure that the audience that you want to attract is on that medium. If you don't want to attract people who just watch videos, maybe you want to attract people who read and consume text content, then think about that. And if it's vice versa, then vice versa. But at the I guess at the very root, it's just making sure you're delivering valuable content, because if you're delivering valuable content, then people will want to keep on subscribing to it and seeing it. And what usually people pay for when they pay for advertising or sponsors is eyeballs, or ears on whatever content you're delivering. So.
All right, so let's use, okay, John took the Power of Seven, and when
Mhm.
John did it, he has a program for diabetes. Okay, so he created his program not too long ago, maybe less than a year ago now, around a year ago at the
Mhm.
most. So now he had a very small list. I don't remember what he started with. So share with them what they're doing as far as a joint venture, how many people he has, how he's doing it, how he's getting subscribers, and so forth. So kind of
Mhm.
just share with that example for that.
So yeah, so John is focusing on diabetes, and type 2 diabetes, and how it's irreversible, and with health and fitness and things like that. And so what he did was assembled essentially the smartest people he can find and access that knew the answers to some of these questions: what you should be eating, what you should be doing for exercise, what you should be eating, what are some of the myths associated with diabetes care, what's insulin doing to you, and what A1C means, and all that good stuff. And so he began assembling the team joint ventures, people who knew a whole lot about the topic, and also had a list and a following of people that could deliver it as well. And so John put together and brought all the content together. There's 14 speakers in the telesummit. They're all from around the U.S. and delivered it in a kind of a 14-day summit, which actually started today. And so before that, though, it's always delivering some type of valuable content that has to do with the topics being discussed to the people, so that they want to hear more, and they're always learning something new about the topic in general. And so that's how that list kind of slowly built up. The some of the partners, some of the joint ventures, the speakers, some of them promote, some of them don't promote. We've got affiliates. Some of those are affiliates. We've also got some affiliates who aren't speakers. And so it really just is trying to find the people who may have a following for the affiliates, and then also bringing together people that might not have a following or might not be a good income source, but really have a lot of information about the topic and um, can share it with your audience.
Another thing that he also used, so he did a joint ventures. He recorded them, so he doesn't even have to be live, which is great because usually
Mhm.
you used to have to do it live. So he contacted them, and what are they, an hour piece individually, an hour? Or,
Yeah, they're about an hour. Yeah, he recorded them earlier, and so they're all kind of they're on SoundCloud, and we release them day by day, so people don't have access to them all at once until after the summit ends. But yeah, they're about an hour each, and they're it's interview style. So John's talking with the person and asking them questions to kind of get at whatever information that the people, the audience, might want to know, and then people can have a chance to link up on Facebook and kind of ask questions, and if they know that a certain doctor that's talking about a certain topic is speaking on Sunday, they can go ahead and start to put in their questions and see what they might want to know or might want to talk about. And so John and the people can answer questions via that medium if they do want kind of that live experience.
So that's a perfect example that someone that started from scratch. It was just an idea in less than a year. You said he had over a couple thousand, 3,000 or something like that.
Yeah, he's got 3,500, 3,500 now. I think last time the first run around version one of the summit was around 2,000. Um, and then this time he's up to 3,500. So, um,
And and so what he's done is that, again, he recorded all these people before, and he did a summit before, I guess that months ago, and he just added two new people, and he's doing the same thing. So he didn't have to even do it over again. He's repurposing it. And then my suggestion to him is that when he finishes, to create a collection of it, and then he'll be able to sell this packaging, sell all this information. So now he's creating a product. So he's used it once. He added two more people, used it again. He's selling to a big live event, to his other live events, and he's able to, again, at the end of the day, have a product that he can use for a fee or for free for a lead gen. So this gives you an example. People are doing different things, and that, again, people think, okay, diabetes. So that's not a topic that people would think that they get such attraction for, but it's something that a lot of people experience it and they want to know about it. So I say to you, ladies, it could be anything at all that you have. We have a gentleman I work with. He does restoration. He does restoration for mold, fire, and water damage. So he does his podcast. We interview um, roofers. We're interviewing electrical people. We're interviewing realtors. We're interviewing insurance people. We're interviewing everyone that has affiliated with their home and that's kind of catastrophes. And they're his guests on his show. And then he has a live event that we're going to do on May 20th in his shop. And we're bringing in people, bringing in barbecue outside. We're opening it up to to a vacant space next door. We're having music. We're just creating a really big fun event. And all the hosts on his podcast are inviting all of their list. So already we have a save the date, and there's over 100 people. We haven't even finish the invitation, but it has people from it. So there's a lot of different ways you can do. And if you don't know, I suggest either you register, show up again, and get it done, or call me. Or at the bottom of the page, you can always suggest. So you can always opt in for a complimentary strategy session, and I'll talk to you and see how we can build your business and how we can work with you. Just simple, that's free. Just fill that in, whatever message or questions you have, hit submit, and we're done. So I want to thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry we went a little late, a little rough beginning, but hopefully you got some content, you got some ideas. If nothing else, you're motivated to be able to build your business to what you want it to be, because it's your dream and it's up to you to bring it out to the world. So unless there's any other questions, until we meet again, this has been Desiree from An Empowered Woman and my co-host, Armand.
thank you.
Stay empowered. I'm still having problems here. I can't close this out. Can you still see it?
Yep, we're
I'm saying
following you.
I can't stop the broadcast. There it is. I'm still live. I'm going to stop share screening, and I'm going to stop the broadcast.